What's up, guys? It's your boy Ling here with another Impact Strength Show. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be talking about something that I love to talk about, which is motivation. One of my guys that I used to work out with hit me up in the IG, asked me the question. He said, Chris, how do you get motivated, or how do you stay motivated? And a lot of times people ask me questions about motivation. They look at me, I guess, as somebody who is highly motivated, which is funny because I don't really consider myself highly motivated. I do, however, consider myself highly driven. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the secrets that have helped me be able to keep that motivation, that fire, and that passion going, even when I didn't feel like I had it the most. We'll talk about motivation, right? So first thing, I want to address that head on, right? I don't really believe in motivation, right? I believe that people get motivated, but I don't believe in motivation, right? Because motivation is what I like to consider fickle. It comes and it goes in waves, and what most people feel is motivation is not actually motivation. Usually it's a different emotion, right? So what we do as humans is we often use our emotions to drive our actions, meaning anger, right? If you get angry enough at something, you're going to take action. If you're sad enough at something, you might take action to get away from that sad place, right? If you're feeling super excited, you might take action because you got all these good feelings going on and you're like, well, I don't want to waste these. Let's go, baby, right? So motivation is something that comes and goes, but when it comes to like changing your life, or most importantly, transforming your life, you got to have something stronger. So what we talked about in this conversation with my friend was, you have to find, and I hate to say this because it's so cliche, right? Simon Sinek actually kind of started with this, but find your why, right? Find your why. I actually think that instead of thinking about find your why, find your passion, right? Find your purpose, right? Because when you find your passion and your purpose, that's going to drive you like no other feeling that you've ever had in your life, right? You're going to be like so driven that you wake up in the morning ready to go. And life has its way sometimes of stealing that passion from you, stealing that purpose from you, right? Beating you down, making you feel tired, right? Making you feel depressed. So when my man said, Chris, I'm dealing with the depression. I put on 35 pounds, right? How do I turn this around? Well, the first thing you have to realize is that feeling of depression, right? That feeling of anxiety that you might be experiencing or going through, that is a different thing that's happening. What that is, it's truly just an out of alignment experience, meaning you are living every day of your life not in alignment with your true purpose, right? Not in alignment with the things that are actually going to give you passion and fuel your soul. And I truly believe that we often can fall out of alignment, but when we get clear on our goals, when we get clear on where we want to go, it ignites a fire inside of you, right? So we have to look and identify are there things in my life right now that are tapping my energy, right? Are there things in my life right now, or people in my life right now that are holding me back from being my greatest version of myself, right? So when I was talking to him, one of the things that he had said was, well, I want to get back in the gym now, but I don't want to go through that feeling of everyone's looking at me, right? Everyone's judging me. Everyone's like, man, you fell off. I want to address that because I think that this feeling and that thought is very common. In fact, I think it happens in like 98% of people that are getting ready to go to a gym, right? They're worried about what other people are going to think of them. They're worried that they're going to look stupid. They're worried that maybe they won't be good enough in the eyes of other people. Now, for me, I used to think like this all the time. Every action that I would take was always like, well, what's this person going to say? What's this person going to think? I always felt that judgment. So what I would do is I would live my life through this filter, right? Not being my true self, not sharing my passions, not sharing what I actually thought. And in return, it was like the world was forming me into its version that it wanted. And that's the fastest way to become depressed, is to filter yourself, right? To not show up as your true authentic self. See, when you show up as your true authentic self, well, then that's going to actually bring your energy up, right? It's going to bring what I like to talk about. Everyone that knows me knows that I'm a real big on energy and frequency, right? Having high frequency, being a high vibrating person. What does that mean? It means that, like, when you walk into a room, everybody, like, wants to know who you are. Everybody wants to be around you, right? Because you make other people feel better just by your presence, and that is something that's a higher purpose. It's a higher calling, right? So when I was talking to him, I said, don't worry about what other people think. The only thing that matters is how you think of yourself and how you see yourself in God's eyes, right? Not to go religious here, but he was asking me what I thought and what kept me motivated. And what kept me motivated was that I was living my life through my passion and the purpose and the desires that God put in my heart, right? When I'm in alignment with what I feel like God is calling me to do, I have fire for days. But when I'm doing the stuff that maybe isn't like aligned with my faith, right? Aligned with my career goals, aligned with my growth, where I want to be in life, the things that I want to experience, the things I want to bring for my family, when I'm not doing that, I feel like a smaller version of myself, right? And it's easy to slip into those low points and those destructive, self-destructive behaviors. So the goal is you want to be building yourself up. But a lot of people start too fast. They try to do too much. And that's the reason why they fail. If you're getting ready, let's use this as an example. You're getting ready to start a new fitness program. So you go online, you buy the clothes, right? You go online, you buy the supplements. You go on to the gym, you get your membership, you go in there, your first workout is like 2 hours long, right? You beat yourself into the ground, and then like you're done. You're tired. You don't want to do that workout again. You've created a neuroassociation that getting in shape requires 2 hours of time, lots of money spent on supplements. You have to have the right clothes, right? So you're like trying to create this situation where you have all the right circumstances in place for you to be successful. But the reality is, everyone that's successful knows the secret. It's one step at a time. It's your right foot in front of your left foot. It's those smaller daily actions that you are ignoring every single day. See, when I realized that whether it was fitness, whether it was business, whether it was just life or even having a great relationship, it was those small daily deposits that mattered the most. It was showing up to the gym and getting in a 20-minute workout because I didn't have time. So instead of making an excuse for myself, doing 20 minutes. Because now time is no longer an excuse, right? You either do what you say you're going to do or you don't. And when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're out of alignment. And here's the reason why alignment matters, right? Here's the reason. Part of my sniffles, I got a little bit of a cold, so I'm managing, I'm trying here. Here's why being in alignment matters. When you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, right? Maybe you just said it in your mind. Your mind knows that you didn't do it. Maybe other people didn't because you didn't vocalize this out loud, but you know. So there's a sense of guilt that comes with that. There's a sense of shame that comes with that. And what I was talking about earlier with the frequency, I learned through my journey of transformation about energy and frequency. And one of the lowest forms of energy is guilt and shame, right? So when you're out there doing the wrong thing, being selfish, only thinking about yourself, right? It's shameful behavior, right? You don't have any contribution. I find that people that have the most purpose and passion in their life have the biggest contributions. So when you're giving back to the world, when you're giving back to others, when you're holding doors, making someone else's life better, well, that's when you're going to feel the best. Be the source of what you seek, right? If you want love, you got to give love, right? If you want strength, you need to give strength to other people. Because in return, you're going to raise your feelings, right? You're going to raise your energy. And earlier, like I said, when we look at the Hertz Human Emotion Energy Frequency chart itself, the lower frequencies are desire, anger, guilt, but anger is actually a little bit higher. So what happens is anger becomes a useful tool for most people to actually get out of an unstuck position, right? If you get mad enough at something, well, you can start to take action. But the thing is that you didn't align that with your purpose, so it's only going to last for so long, right? Once you realize, like, oh, I don't actually like working out. Oh, I don't actually like cooking my food. Oh, I don't actually like reading books. Like, the anger allowed you to take action, but you didn't have anything anchoring in to actually help you keep that going, right? You didn't have the right support systems or structure to keep you accountable to doing it, right? That's why I say you got to get clear, because if you're not clear on your goals and you're just like making up a goal and you're saying, this is what I want, it's not good. Like, your brain is not going to fall for that trick. It knows that's not what you want. It knows that you want comfort. It knows that you want to sit down and watch Netflix. It knows that you don't want to rise up and be uncomfortable and do the hard things or the hard work. So how do you get your mind to shift and become someone that does, right? Because that's transformation. I believe we all are people who don't want to do any of those things, right? That's how we were kind of engineered as humans. So you actually have to trick your mind into becoming that person. That's called transformation. That's called growth, right? Growth mindset. You have to adopt a growth mindset, and that's going to allow you to go from where you are to where you want to go. So become your own coach. Why? Because a coach is someone who takes someone from a place where they are to a place where they want to go. And I've actually redefined this, because I heard that from Martin Rooney. I've redefined it as a coach is someone who takes you from a place where you are to a place that you've never even imagined yet. So a lot of you guys have way more inside of you. You have so many abilities that you're not using, right? You haven't even seen it yet because you haven't done those small steps in the beginning. The small step is important because it builds consistency, right? It builds a habit. And when you go to the gym and you get a workout in, no matter how you feel, before you know it, you're going to feel worse when you don't go, right? Like, that's the cool thing about a habit, is that, like, when you build it, you feel worse when you don't do it. So last night I was talking to one of my members. We were talking about working out, how I used to train 7 days a week. It was very easy for me to train 7 days a week. I had set up my situation. I had set up my day. I had all these constraints removed so that I could just focus in on doing that, because that act of working out 7 days a week was an act of investment in myself. So why is that important? When you invest in yourself, you're showing love to yourself, right? Like, you're showing that you're worth it. You're showing that you matter. And where I find that most people struggle when it comes to fitness is that they don't do the workouts because they don't believe that they matter enough. So they put everything else in front of themselves. They put, doing laundry in front of themselves. They do yard work instead of investing in themselves. They do work. They work crazy hours for more money because they value money more than they value themselves, right? So you have to really look at how you look at your workouts, how you look at your training, and switch that around a little bit. Change your mindset in what you do to make it that, like, I'm going to go work out today because I'm worth it, right? I don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to put that 30 minutes in a self-investment so that I can become the best version of myself, right? This is one of the best things I like saying. Best version of yourself. Now let's go back to the energy frequency. Higher emotions, courage, peace, love, enlightenment, right? Enlightenment's all the way at the top. And why do I like that one the most? Because that's when you're most connected to the world, the universe around us, God, right? Like, that just comes back to faith. Like, when you are anchored in at your faith, and it doesn't matter who you believe in, it could be, you could have many different faiths. My professor used to say you could pray to the porcelain gods, right? That was too many times when I drank too much in college, but I don't drink like that anymore, right? But you got to have faith in a higher purpose, and that you are here for a reason, right? Because when you do, it allows you to kind of like bring your energy up, and this allows you to actually like take action, right? Because the higher your frequency, the more action you take, right? Because it's the better you feel. So one of the things that me and my coach were just talking about was go do something for someone else. Be a selfless person. Make somebody else's life better, right? Because when you do that, you feel good about yourself, right? So if you want to feel good, go do good, right? If you want to be more, you have to do more. People want all this stuff, but they ain't willing to put into work. Don't be one of those people. Be one of the people that says, I want stuff, so therefore I'm going to do the stuff that's required, and I'm probably going to fail, but that's okay, because most people don't take action because they're too afraid of failing. But I think it's not even about failing, it's about other people seeing that they failed, right? So anytime we're thinking about other people, this goes back to what my friend asked me about when he was going to the gym. You're worried about whatever people are thinking about you. You should be worried about what you think about you. Right now, you don't think very highly of yourself, right? It's not about them. They got their own baggage that they, like, and if they're judging you, well, that's because it's better than them looking internally at themselves. So at the end of the day, we all got shit going on in our lives, right? No one's perfect. Some people are just better at hiding it, right? We all got trauma. We all got stress. You know, it doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, middle class. Like, no one has enough money that they want. So we all want more, right? We all want more. So stop worrying about what other people are thinking, because that's ego-driven, right? It's ego-driven. You're not living and walking in your purpose when you're worried about what other people are thinking. So the easiest way to get in alignment, to get motivated, is to, like, get clear. Where do you want to go? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your body to look like? What do you want it to feel like? Because if you do that, then it doesn't matter about 35 pounds. It doesn't matter about the 10-pound goal. You're showing up for yourself. And that's going to make you feel better. Not being skinny, right? Not having the muscles. Those things are byproducts, right? Those are byproducts. And you think sometimes that if I achieve that body, then I'll be set. But let me explain that to you. That's flawed thinking. If you achieve that body, you'll be set because you think that other people are going to look at your body and be like, whoa, look at your body. That's ego-driven, right? It's ego-driven. Anytime we're living in the ego, we're not living in our purpose. So when you train, it's so that you can be the best dad that you can be. It's so you can be the best mom that you can be. It's the best coach, the best secretary, the best teacher, right? Whatever your profession is, that's your purpose, right? I always said, not everybody's supposed to be a thought leader. Not everyone's supposed to be an author. Not everyone is supposed to be like some rich tycoon, right? Maybe you were meant to be a hardworking individual who takes care of themselves, their family, and shows up the way that they should. If you do that and you focus in on that, well, then you're going to have motivation to maybe contribute in a different way, right? Or so I should say contribute, right? You're going to be able to contribute in a different way, but that only happens when you have what you need. So I'm going to leave with this one thing. If you're dealing with other people, you know, and like what they say about you or how they make you feel, you got to get out of that mode, right? Because at the end of the day, like if you want respect, you have to be able to have respect. You have to have self-respect in order to give self-respect. Or sorry, to give respect. You have to have self-respect to be able to give respect. You got to have self-love to be able to give out love, right? So we're always in this world wanting stuff from other people. We got to radiate that from inside. You shouldn't need external forces to give you what you need. You got it in here. You just have to develop it and craft it. So next time you're thinking about getting in shape, stop using the 2 hours, the supplements, and making all your circumstances perfect for you to actually be successful, because that's just a lie. You have what you need. You just got to do what you know you got to do, right? You don't need the perfect moment to take action. You need to take action, and everything else will fall into line. So today, do something. One small action that will lead you to the person that you want to become. Whether that's cooking a meal, whether that is going to the grocery store, whether that's just drinking a glass of water, right? People go, oh, I don't know, I can't go shopping. It's like, drink a glass of water. Say no to the chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A and say yes to some grilled chicken at home, right? Start there. You don't need to have your whole macros planned out and a meal plan to be good at this. You just need to want to actually change yourself. And so many people, They use all those external forces just so that they don't actually have to take action. If you just start taking action, eventually you'll become the person that you want to become. But you'll never become that person if you never take action. So today, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you look into the Hertz Human Emotion Energy Frequency Chart. It changed my life. It really helped me. And once I understood what emotions I needed to be taking action on, right? Having the courage to move forward, spreading peace, love, right? Getting connected, doing meditation, right? Getting in a sauna, ice bath, all of these things help me become the best version of myself. So over the next few episodes, I'm going to share all those techniques, all those tactics, all those strategies that I use to recover, to deal with life stress, but most importantly, to show up as the coach that I am so that my people can be who they are. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next episode.